get my stream in the Discord.
I nearly choked on my cup of tea.
Try not to do that.
I had to mute myself for a moment. That was really bad.
Right, last grid stream. Alright. Alright, hello Rick in the chat, and welcome everyone to a new season of ESRL Sprints. It's fantastic to be here, back here again. This is I've got Sumo in the background if you hadn't noticed. It's great to be here again. Another season of this championship, which is always absolutely packed with action. I can't wait to see who's going to be top of the standings this season. Short Marcus is the reigning champion. See if he can defend his title. But a lot of good drivers on the grid are going to give him a run for his money. So a run for one shot quali. Sumo, I'll let you run through a lap. Choose who you want to run through.
Yeah, let's follow along with Short Marcus then. I think that'll be the best one to go for in this session. Everybody on the soft tires, of course, for this soft qualified. We'll run along with Short Marcus. He's making his way through turn number 3 now. He's up in P5 for the time being, flat all the way through this corner. Then crossing the sector 1 line into the braking zone of turn number 4. That looked fairly clean through there, keeping as much speed as he possibly can. Runs out to the curb using all of the track, and then into turn 5 downhill. Left-hander. This one's an important corner to set you up for the rest of the sector. Now we come through 6, and here's 7 and 8 now. Very important to go through. Lifebout's doing really well at the top there at the moment, but Marcus running in P4 for the time being. Then flat through turn 8, I think turn 9 even, a little lift there, and now into turn 10. There's so many lines through this corner here. How does Short Marcus navigate this tricky left-hander? And it looked pretty clean from Marcus. It looked quite a wide line to take a late apex, and then through 12, count as much speed as possible. And now here's some important corners. Here's turn number 13, then the chicane. Here's 14 and 15. They're getting the best line through. It's chopping and changing at the top. Lifebout, who's it going to be? Short Marcus in the Red Bull at the moment around the final corner, flat to the line. I think it's Lifebout in the Alfa Romeo who's going to take pole position.
No,
it's Marcus.
Ho ho! 300th of a second between the two of them. What an effort from Lifebout. But Short Marcus, the defending champ, takes pole position in the first race of the season, with Lifebout just alongside him on the front row. Trugster had a great qualifying as well there in P3. DTS Ayrton in P4. So the grid very mixed up, but Short Marcus top of the pile again.
Yeah, wow, what a statement to start with, and that was a great qualifying lap to ride on board. I chose very wisely there, Ghost, but I'll let you run through the order as we go into race number 1 of 2.
Yeah, so it's Short Marcus on pole position. He's getting his title defense off to the best possible start. Lifebout, they're in P2, very close to him though, so we'll see if they're equally close during the race, although Lifebout is famed for being a quali merchant, so we'll see. Trugster in P3, great qualifying from him, as well as the Greek driver DTS Ayrton in P4 on the second row. Third row, Spaled Wrong and Robinet. Jackalacco and Wumax make up row 4, Wolfman and Scott row 5, and then Moti Peretz, Amaguna and Fuzzwad the only ones to set times, and then Rick the Toe, and I think that was Tier at the bottom as well. None of them able to set a time. And I will say, just on stream, briefly, thank you very much to The Toe for streaming and commentating on the APP Tier 1 race today. Just want to make a public thank you to him, and hopefully he will stick around, because today was not the greatest show of racing standards in Bahrain, but it is Bahrain.
Yeah, hopefully so. But yeah, thank you, Toe, for stepping in. It was nice to get myself out on the track again. I might even join you in the commentary box if I have a free evening. But yes, big thank you. And we're going on to the race now. And You know, I kind of want them to keep this bug in the game. I'm going to miss it if it's not there in 23. But here we are. Formation up, I think, is on. Here we are. We're going to go around then. Wow. We're going to have quite a session here. Spain's going to throw up some prizes, I think.
Absolutely. Well, almost the entire grid starting on softs, except for Wolfman in P9 and Rick as well, starting on the mediums down in P14. I'm surprised more people didn't start on the mediums, to be honest. So Rick could be the pioneer of strategy here, but we'll see. Short Marcus and Lifebout both on the softs at the front there. We'll see who gets the better start. Lifebout usually very good on his race starts, so we'll see if he can live up to that as well today. But Short Marcus up there too, and he'll be looking to take the lead into turn 1 and disappear for the rest of the race.
Yeah, and if you're going to support anybody tonight, please put the biggest amount of support possible on Jackalacco so we can curse him. He's been coming for us all evening after saying if he wanted to listen. What was the quote exactly? Right, I'm going to get it up right now for everybody to out this guy. He came at us, and we're going to get him. We're going to get him now. He's going to pay for all his wrongdoings. Here's the Scotsman. Let me scroll and scroll and scroll. Oh, there's me being rubbish at the game. I'm close, am I? Oh, here we are. Here we are. What did he say? I can't see it now. I'm blind. Here we are. If I want to watch commentators blabber, I'll just watch the tier 2 stream.
Wow!
Exactly what he said.
Wow!
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Well, you know what I say
Ash.
to yes, Ash in the chat. You know what I want to say to that, Sumo? Jackalacco is going to have an amazing race now. He's going to have an incredible race. He's going to finish P1, no DNFs, no spins. Incredible race from Jacko coming up. So watch this space. But everyone's lined up on the grid now. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And we're underway for the Spanish Grand Prix. Lifebout gets a decent start, but Short Marcus even better there off the front row. But Lifebout trying to stick with him, but not able to into turn 1. Terrible camera angle from the game. Thanks for that, Codemasters. But Spaled Wong up to P3. What a start for him. We've got an Alpine. That's DTS Ayrton after his amazing quali all the way to the back, spinning round at turn 1. Disaster for him. But Spaled Wong up to P3, Trugster P4, Robin P5. Position changes, we got up 2 for Spaled Wong, up 5 places for Amaguna. What a start from him. And Rick up 4 as well on the mediums. Up 5 now, getting past Scott in the other Mercedes as Lifebout continues to challenge Short Marcus at the front.
Yeah, I think Spaled Wong got a great start. I was riding on board with Jackalacco to just make sure he had a great start, and he didn't do it too badly actually. He lost 1 place on the go, but Spaled Wong, great start. He jumped off the line, got straight past the 2 cars ahead of him at the moment. Jackalacco just watching him make a nice send to the inside of turn number 5. He almost locks up and hits the back.
Oh no!
Big spin from Amaguna.
Yeah, Wumax was wide and Amaguna went down the inside, but too early on the throttle, and he spun straight around. Tier and Moti Peretz going side by side as well through turn number 13 and down towards the final chicane, but Tier just ahead. Amaguna spins again as Short Marcus sets the fastest lap at the front and tries to consolidate his lead, leading a train of, at the moment, 5 cars at the front. But we'll see if they all stay in DRS. Trugster already out of that 1 second range, so it could be a 3-way fight for the lead here. Remember, they'll be all reversed on the grid for the next race, so keep watching after this race is done, that's for sure. Rick up to P8 on the mediums. He is doing a fantastic job in that Mercedes, and he's just behind Jackalacco now, who's certainly not going to give him let him through. I know they're in a party together, but I'm sure Jacko will make Rick's life difficult up there in P7 and 8. And Lifebout still sticking with Short Marcus. The top 3 have broken away. Another yellow flag for Amaguna, spinning again in Sector 2. And Tier spinning as well at turn 8.
Ah, Tier. Well, if Jackalacco learned anything from his time as my sprint teammate for 3 seasons, it will certainly be how to put on a defence. and of course he's riding in the AlphaTauri, which is of course our almost title-winning car. But he goes very deep there, coming in through turn 13 at the moment, Jack Alacco. And actually, he was saying it before this race, he was thinking he wasn't going to get any screen time. He's probably got more screen time than he ever thought he was going to get at the moment. But at the front, it's all kicking off. We've got 3 cars chasing along, and one of them spowed wrong. It's giving me flashbacks, Ghost. Last time I was here in ESRL was the Division 2 finale, and we all know how that went.
Yes, absolutely right. That was a fantastic race for all the drama-filled reasons, so do go over to Sumo's channel and watch it if you can. But Lifebout, a bit of a mistake through turn 1, nearly binned the car on the exit of 2, so just about keeping it on track, but he lost a few tenths to Short Marcus, and if I know anything about Short Marcus and his consistency, Lifebout is going to start to struggle to keep on board with him as soon as he starts to make 1 or 2 little mistakes.
Yeah, certainly so. And then that's what it is. If you run out of that second, and he's gone very deep there through turn 10, that's going to hinder him as well. He's teetering on the edge of being in the DRS zone. He's really got to try and put it together, a little bit shaky through the exit of 12 there too from the Dutchman, so he's having a bit of a tough time, a bit of a torrid time. Oh, now Rick's gone.
He's round at turn 11, disaster. Oh, disaster for Rick, what a shame. A terrible start for him. Lifebout didn't get the DRS up towards turn 1, so Short Marcus sending the fastest lap and now leading this race by over a second. But Lifebout going to try and just consolidate P2 now, I think, and just keep Spell wrong at bay. But Spell doing fairly well to stay within DRS for now. But it's just about getting into that point where they're all dropping out of DRS range as Wolfman goes side by side with Moti Peretz through turn 3, just about coming out in front. But the Ferrari's not going to give this up and has a look for turn 4, but thinks better of it. As they go round turn 5 and now towards turn 6, side by side again. Wolfman down the inside. Can he secure this place, or can Moti Peretz hang it round? Oh no, Lifebout spins at turn 7 all the way down to P5. Disaster for him. So Trugster up onto the podium now as battles continue, and I'm sure that's not going to be the last mistake of the race.
No, for sure. This track is just something else. It's Spain. It's Spain without the S. It's Spain without the A. It's all sorts of awful, this circuit. And well, I'll be glad to see the back end of that chicane this year when F1 23 finally comes around. But yeah, it's a tough circuit. It's going to catch drivers out who aren't careful and don't give it the respect that it deserves.
Yeah, Lifebout down to P5 now, challenging Robinet for 4th place, nearly going into the back of him at turn 1. Very, very close behind that AlphaTauri, as he's very lucky to not lose more time, to be honest, from that spin. Only down to P5, so and clearly is the faster driver out of him and Robinet, so he'll be fancying himself to get into P4 before long. But the rest of the drivers, not a lot of close gaps. DTS Ayrton very close to Moti Peretz though, down towards turn 6. Side by side they go. Moti been side by side through that corner quite a few times this race so far, as they go all the way down to turn 7 and 8. Surely not side by side through there. That's exactly what they're doing. There's still no contact. Beautiful racing between the two, and DTS Ayrton up to P11.
God, that was fantastically close race, and I've seen that a few times around here. I think I've been involved in moves like that as well myself, and in my time as a racer as well. And Lifebout, he's on the hunt as well. He's very close to the back of Robinet's diffuser right now. He'll be looking for the best exit possible, and I think he's got it. That looked like a great exit. That Alfa Romeo very set up through there, 16, and DRS open already, and he's already passed, but Robinet's going to come back at him. I think he's going to try, but the DRS just gave Lifebout that little bit of extra speed going down the straight, and Lifebout back into P4. He'll be trying to at least salvage a podium from this, maybe, if he can get on the back of Trugster, who is just about a corner ahead.
I think he absolutely can, although, I mean, from the elite race we did around Spain in a different league with Lifebout. Oh, who's that spun?
Jacko!
Jacko! Oh, Oh no, and we said he would have such a good race as well.
He really did. Oh, Jacko, come on,
man.
letting us down.
What a shame. We've got DTS Ayrton Wolfman down the inside of the toe through turn 5. He's made the move. Great stuff from the Red Bull driver. Sorry, the toe going down the inside of Wolfman, rather. But he's gone deep at turn 8. And here comes Wolfman back down the inside. And DTS Ayrton going for it as well at turn 9. Side by side. Somehow they both make it through. Brilliant racing. The toe's going to go down the inside for turn 10. Wolfman just about avoiding them. The toe's coming back at him though, and keeps P9. But DTS Ayrton hasn't given enough up. He's down the inside. There's contact. It was always going to happen through there, and the toe and DTS Ayrton both round. Lifebout and Spale coming in for their scheduled pit stops. But disaster striking for those two after so many laps of great battling.
Yeah, that was looking great, but they stayed just sort of drifted into each other's lines on the exit of turn 12, and that was it. It was enough to send the two of them round at the moment, but the pit window is definitely opening up.
Oh, Jacko down the inside of Moti. Oh, wow, at turn 1, Moti shut the door in Jacko's face there. Jacko nearly spinning all the way round, but just having a little bit of a save of the car. But yeah, Moti not taking any prisoners there.
No, not at all. And a couple of drivers opted for hards, but they've had to stop her far earlier than they ever planned to stop. So a sensible option. Now we're hoping for safety cars maybe to at least get themselves back in the race and onto the soft compounded tyres, but the stops are coming in then at the moment. No penalties for the time being, but I think our current leader would be, well, still be Short Marcus, I guess, unless he loses time here, but he's dove into the pit lane now in that Red Bull. Let's see, where is Spald Raw? I think he's just ahead of his teammate there. He's battling with Lifebout though, so this is going to hinder the both.
And Wolfman's had a spin at turn 10, Lifebout right behind Spald, nearly losing it at turn 11, but just about keeping it up, sorry, turn 12. Scott had a spin as well in sector 1, I noticed. A lot of people in the pits. Lifebout coming on the final corner now, still just behind Spale. So he's gained a fair bit of time in the pit stops with Lifebout.
In front of them here. Ghost Truxton might get out in front of the two of them. He is. They've been battling, and they've both lost the place to Truxter. Yeah,
Truxter back up to P3, but Jackalacco still hasn't stopped, and he's right behind Short Marcus. What's happened to Short Marcus, Sumo? Something's surely happened. Oh no, he's pitted, okay.
He's pitted, yeah.
I was going to say, how did Jackalacco get right behind him? But no, he's pitted. So,
well, Jackalacco's just that good. He's having such an incredible time out there on the circuit right now, and he's really, really going for it, and he's racing his heart out. But we'll focus on this big battle here, and these are guys all racing for position at the moment. Lifebout all over the back of Truxter, who sneakily got past the two of them while they were fighting away. But Lifebout's going to come on the attack now, and defensive goes Truxter. He pulls over already. Lifebout to the inside though. Around he goes, and it's straightforward move for him. And does Spout try and make a move as well? He got very close.
Safety car.
Look at the inside. There's a safety car.
I have no idea what caused that, Sumo. I saw someone spinning, but no one's DNF'd. But we do have a safety car, and it's perfect timing for Lifebout. Because he just about made the move, and Jacko, of course, yeah. Lifebout in the pits for a set of soft tyres. Truxter staying out, as is Spaled wrong, but those soft tyres going to be a big asset to Lifebout, but he's going to have to do, well, 8 laps on them. It's not too bad, actually. That's what Jacko just did. But Jacko onto the mediums. He's down to P6, P7, but that's going to be it. So actually, no, P6 for Jacko, so yeah, perfect timing for him. In for mediums, he's going to be very glad that he stayed out another lap.
Yeah, Avatar doing great, and there's a bit of a traffic jam.
What's going on here?
Pits here, what is going on? There's cars going side by side, surely not. Short Marcus has come in as well.
Oh, it's Scott's DNF'd car, Sumo. He retired in the pit lane, but then everyone else has had to sit behind his AI car, which is very unfortunate. I don't think anyone gained or lost a position out of it though, so I think it's okay. But Jacko out ahead of Lifebout, but Lifebout on those soft tyres. Short Marcus also pitted for the softs, having done a lap on the mediums. So it's the top 4 all on mediums, and then Short Marcus and Lifebout looking to fight their way through.
Yeah, and it's well, this is going to be quite good once this race really starts. Look at these soft runners trying to make their way through. Short Marcus has got some work to do. We're going to have 4 cars or so to clear, but importantly he's ahead. He's got a car in between himself and Lifebout. Jackalacco's sitting there breaking these two apart from one another at the moment. Spelled wrong. If he can get himself ahead of Trugster quickly and open up a gap, he could win this race if luck is on his side, and of course he can go fast enough to just break away from the two of them at the moment. But it's all going to be yet to tell. I think we're going to go one more lap. We're waiting for the rest of the grid to form up behind the safety car, and of course we'll wait for Amaguna, who is only just coming up to turn 5 now.
Yeah, he's a long way back, so we could be waiting another couple of laps, Sumo, to get racing again, which is just going to help the soft runners, or will it? Because it will give them fewer laps to make any positions up. So, yeah, it's difficult, because their tyres will be less worn. They've got fewer laps to do what they need to do. So, Tia into the pits as well. He's going to go onto the softs for the end. The toe staying out. Is Rick in? Yes, he is. He's in for the softs too. He knows it's his best chance of gaining positions. Exactly, and Amaguna spins around at turn 12. I do wonder if he's got rear wing damage, because he has been having a lot of spins.
Yeah, and that'll really affect him. He might not even get on the back of the safety car. If so, I mean, does it look like does it look like he's got damage? I don't know. Is that normally the little spanner and screwdriver are red if there's damage on the car, but
okay.
There really needs to be an update to the UI for spectators, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
I'd like to have a bit more information than just what we've got. I mean, they don't get too much information on there, but like some kind of basic information, perhaps.
Yeah, for sure. It's
better camera angles.
Yes.
I'm sick and tired of missing race starts because the camera angle won't change to show the full grid.
Safety car in this lap, which is terrible news for Rick and Amaguna. Rick is going to be furious that the safety car is in. He just pitted for soft, so he would have been on the back if not for that of the train.
Might just get onto it, Ghost.
He might. It's going to be close though. He's just coming down the straight towards turn 10 now. As the grid heads through turn 12, it will be very close. I think he will just make it. So Trugster will lead us off for the safety car restart. Through sector 3 goes the Williams. As he leads the race, he decides when to punch it. Rick has caught up, as has Amaguna. When is Trugster going to go for it? He's going to spin on the outset of the final corner, and Spaled Wrong is going to look to take advantage, but he can't overtake before the start-finish line. But Robin is right there and looking to take full advantage. Trugster inadvertently causing a bit of carnage there. And Spaled Wrong could be 3 wide into turn 1. Spaled backs out, as does Robin. Womax round the outside. There could be contact there. There isn't. Short Marcus all the way up to P4. Lifebout there as well, getting past his teammate. Womax going wide at turn 3. Trugster still leads. Spelled wrong there, but Robin up to P3, and Short Marcus and Lifebout already 4 and 5 and looking to make their way up the grid. Lifebout looking to get past Short Marcus, but Marcus down the inside of turn 5 makes the move stick. He's up to P3, and Trugster and Spelled Wrong are going to be very worried when they see him in their mirrors, as Womax getting past Jacko further back.
Yeah, Short Marcus was riding along on the restart, and he just saw the battle in front of him between Lifebout and Robin. Set the car up on the second part of that chicane at the beginning, and he just swooped around the outside of Lifebout and got ahead of him, and then he quickly dispatched of Robin with an audacious send into turn number 5. Lifebout tried to follow him through, but the door was closing and closing and closing, and there's a little bit of contact between the two of them, but he's lucky that he wasn't spun out during that. But he'll be fuming that Short Marcus has had it so easy to get through. Here's Lifebout now. He's closing on the back of Robin, almost into the back of him round here. This is going to be a drag race all the way down to turn number 1. Lifebout's going to pull out of the draft now. Pull alongside. Spelled Wrong as well. He's going for a move as well up ahead, and Lifeback breaks very late. He's up in the P4 at the moment. Spelled wrong. Dispatches of Truckster at the moment. Short Marcus is going to make short work of the Truckster as well. And the Williams, does he know? A shorter line for the Williams at the moment. Keeps Short Marcus at bay.
Tier and Fuzzwad spinning further back, but Short Marcus is going to be a little annoyed he didn't get past there, because now Lifebout can close back up. And it's game on once again, but brilliant battle between Lifebout and Robinet down towards turn 1. I think Robinet's running quite low wings compared to Lifebout. As another yellow flag, that's Amaguna again. He is not having a good time at this Spanish circuit, but Trugster right just ahead of Short Marcus, who still can't find a way through. No DRS yet until I believe another couple of laps. It won't be this lap.
I think. I'm pretty sure it's next lap.
Oh, okay, it might be then. But Short Marcus, yeah, actually you're right, it will be next lap. So Short Marcus is going to have to wait another lap for the DRS to get past Trugster. He needs a good exit here if he wants to have a good opportunity to get spare one, but he hasn't gotten it. And Lifebout's gotten a much better exit. And here comes the Alfa Romeo. DRS now enabled, but they won't have it down this main straight. Here comes Short Marcus. Look at the low wing setup he's got down the inside of Trugster without even using his ERS. And he's made the move into turn 1. Trugster couldn't do anything, and Lifebout finds himself with a car between him and his rival once again. As Spelled Wrong has a 1.5 second lead, but I'm sure that's going to be cut down in just over a lap.
Oh, here comes Lifebout at the inside of turn 4. This is side by side between the two of them. Lifebout gets the shorter line and gets through past the Williams quickly, but the Williams going to go for a dive perhaps. Not quite thought better of it, I think. But Lifebout quickly dispatching of Short Marcus, and Short Marcus is going to have to keep his eye out behind him, which could give Spelled Wrong the advantage. I think I may have called this right, but there's still a fair few laps to go at the moment. Spelled Wrong, all he's got to do is keep it consistent and hope that Lifebout and Marcus battle a lot harder than they are right now. Short Marcus is looking like the fastest man out on the circuit right now.
Rick's out.
Rick's out.
Rick's out at turn 9. That's another safety car. Another safety car for Rick's crash. That is right at the end. There's only going to be out a couple of laps. Who's going to come in for soft tyres, I wonder? Out of those medium runners, obviously Short Marcus and Lifebout can stay out. Spelled Wrong has stayed out. He knows he's only going to have to defend for 2 laps. After the safety car comes in, there won't be DRS for the following cars, so he thinks he has a good opportunity here, but the soft tyre runners are going to have less wear to deal with as Amaguna comes out of the pits and gets lapped, unfortunately, at this safety car. Robinet in P5, Womack's still sitting in P6 with Jacko right behind. He's having an amazing race, Jacko. I'm sure he can do even better than where he is right now. But Mosey Peretz and then Wolfman, the toe in P10, still on those softs as well, and Tier. Fuzzwad and DTS Ayrton coming in. I think maybe they had damage from their spins at turn 1, did they? Fuzzwad, no wing change for Fuzzwad. DTS Ayrton, I couldn't tell if he got a front wing change.
They were just coming in for some softs. They've got nothing to lose by pitting the last 2 cars on there. And yeah, Jackalacco's got the advantage at the moment on those mediums, so he could go so well. Maybe get up amongst Womax, get past his teammate perhaps. Maybe get himself on the podium if Lifebout bottles it, as he's so akin to doing these days. But we'll wait and see as we're going along. But Spelled Wrong, I think he's in a decent place, although he's really got to nail this safety car start, and I hope that Marcus and Lifebout get engaged in a battle between themselves. And I think Marcus and Lifebout will sort of be weary of that. They'll want to try and maybe work together a little bit, at least to get past Spelled Wrong. Then they can go wheel to wheel, but they're not going to have too many laps to do that.
No, they're not. And like you say, Lifebout prone to errors, especially on this track, with no line. We've seen it plenty of times in other leagues. Where is Vetsku and Myra? Maybe you should ask them, Luppies. I've no idea why they haven't signed up for the sprint this season. Yeah, that's up to them. But I don't know if they have signed up and just couldn't make it today. But either way, unfortunately, neither of our Finnish Tier 1 drivers in the sprints today. It is going to be, yeah, it is a shame. Yeah, it is going to be a 2-lap shootout once the safety car comes in at the end of this lap. Tier in for fresh softs as well at the back.
Yeah, Tier coming in as well. He's, again, nothing to lose at the moment, so he may as well give it a go in the Aston Martin as well. It's a shame we've lost Ricky and Scott and Amaguna, but it's made some of the racing that little bit more closer, and we're probably going to go back under green flag this lap. So do be ready very soon. Tears exited the pit now, so he'll catch up by the time they get to probably turn 5, I'd have said, considering where all of the cars are now. But it's Spowed Wrong leading the way from Short Marcus. Then there's Lifebout. Then we've got Truckster, Robin Homogene, Womax, Jackalacco, Moxie Peretz, Wolfman, The Toad, Fuzzwad, DTS Ayrton, and Tyr.
Yeah, indeed. A lot of people having good races here. But Spelled Wrong will be hoping that he can defend for these 2 laps. It won't be easy, but he's given himself the best chance of winning this race, I think, because none of the other medium runners came in for softs either. Other than Tyr. Safety car is in this lap, as we said, so Spelled Wrong going to lead us off. Trugster as well, sitting there in P4. He's had a great race so far. Robin just behind him. So we'll see the battle of the medium runners, as well as Robin and Womack somehow swap positions. Hopefully that doesn't break anything. Let's see how this goes. Spelled Wrong going to lead us off.
And now the safety car, making its way into the pits. When is Truckster, when is Spelled Wrong going to go? Even I clearly was not paying attention to anything that's happening with Spelled Wrong in the Alpine, making his way around turn 16. He's got it all to do. The pressure on his shoulders, and there he goes. And Lifebout's got a great restart.
Yeah, he has. He's using the ERS to try and get past Short Marcus, but look at the low wing setup on that Red Bull. He's got so much straight line speed, and he's going to have a look to the inside of Spelled Wrong, but thinks better of it into turn 1. Lifebout breaks very late for turn 1, but they all get through safely. Spelled Wrong still leads the race. Jackalacco, whoa.
It's racing so good that his headset has blown off of his head.
It certainly has.
But
I'm back.
Marcus is still trying to find a way through. He's going to have to look behind him and in front of him as well. There's some battling going on a bit further back. Toe and Wolfman. Wolfman's around. Oh, what a shame for Wolfman.
Oh, all the way to the back he goes. Yeah, I was just so excited I ripped my headset out of my ear. But I'm back now. Spelled Wrong, it's still leading this race. Short Marcus and Lifebout just following along. They won't have DRS. There's only 1 lap to go after this one. Spelled Wrong could hold on here. The soft tyres are going to start to fall away at this point in the race. You can see Short Marcus with a correction there at turn 10, and Lifebout right behind him, but they've got to be careful that they don't overexert these soft tyres, as Spelled Wrong still leading this race. Trugster right there.
Yeah, Truckster he might have an advantage here, especially if those softs go off at the wrong point. He's sort of closing in, but there's no DRS to help any of them as they make their way through, so it's all going to have to be on pure pace. We're on the final lap now. There's a few battles going on, but we're watching the front at the moment. It's all eyes on the battle for the top 3. DTS Ayrton, he's got himself ahead of the Ferrari of Fuzzwad at the moment. A decent move. The Ferrari trying to find a way through. No way through. He's got Tyr for company as well. He's going to go around the outside. Perhaps it's the Brit. He's going to try around the outside of turn 3 now in the Aston Martin, pulling alongside the Ferrari. They're going to go side by side all the way down towards turn number 4. Is it the outside still for Tyr? It is, and he swoops past the Ferrari. He's got no ERS in the fender. I think he might have accidentally left it on as Fuzzwad perhaps. So he might want to turn that off. He's wasting it. He's draining it away, but we move back to the battle at the front at the moment, and Spelled Wrong is controlling this right now, but here we go. Lifebout. Here he comes to the inside up to number 10. He's going to dive straight to the inside of the Red Bull. Side by side they go, and it's the deeper line for the Red Bull at the moment, and they're going to emerge side by side as they go in towards turn 12 as well, and there's still a little bit of gap, and Lifebout has made the move.
Oh, what a move. He had to go on the grass to do it, but he found the inside line. Lifebout up to P2, and a mistake from Spell in the final corner. Can Lifebout win the race? No, he can't. Spell just about gets it under control. Here comes the finish line. Lifebout P2, Spelled Wrong P1. He wins the Spanish Grand Prix. Short Marcus P3. He's going to be disappointed with that after he looked so dominant in the early stages. Trugster P4, great result for him. Womax P5, Jackalacco P6, and Moti Perez and Robinay all the way down in P8. He did not have a good final few laps. DTS Ayrton P9, and Tier rounds out the top 10. What an ending.
Yeah, what an ending indeed. That was some intense stuff toward the very end there. And the spelled wrong, I think that safety car really helped him out toward the end, and it gave him the well, it took DRS away from everybody else, and you can't really take anything from him. He was in the right place to the word's gone, to the right place to bloody capitalise. There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. But Lifebout just taking that opportunity there. Had to go on the grass to do it briefly to find that inside line, but Short Marcus left it just about open, and Lifebout snatching P2 as Spare Wrong does a very good dance on the podium there before collecting his trophy. But he's going to be absolutely delighted to secure the win, but of course he will start the next race from the back.
Yeah, he will, and well, reverse race at the moment, and those forwards throw up some carnage as well. You've got to be patient in a reverse grid race. Ghost, as you know all too well, you want to really just try and make the moves, but for now we've had race number 1, Spowed Wrong on top, of course. I think he's your Division 2, current Division 2 champion, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I'll let you run through the final finishing order before the next race goes.
Yeah, Spelled Wrong, the Division 2 champ, wins the first race of the Season 3 of the sprints in spectacular fashion in the Alpine, and he takes home the full 25 points. Lifebout there in P2 with a last lap overtake on Short Marcus, who did at least manage to carry away the fastest lap. Trugster in P4, great result for him, and Wumax in the top 5 as well, with Jackalacco just behind, and Moti Perez finishing P7 in the end after Tier must have had a spin, I think. Robinay P8, DTS and P9, Tier rounding out the top 10, and then Fuzzwad in P11, Wolfman 12th, and the Toe, the last of the finishers, with Rick, Amaguna and Scott unable to finish.
To race number 2 then. I'm excited. Are we at the same venue, or is it a different track, Ghost?
It will be a different track, yes. I will get straight back to you on which one it is. It is Jeddah. We are heading to the streets of Jeddah.
Short Marcus said he bottled it. Got catastrophic understeer suddenly halfway around the last lap, so annoying, but third is a good start. Yeah, a podium's nothing to scoff at, Marcus, and you definitely still had a good go, and it's only race 1 of round 1, so long way to go yet. But we'll be setting the grid. We're in Jeddah. Oh, a reverse grade race around Jeddah. Oh gosh.
Yes, this is going to be spicy.
Yeah.
It's Short Marcus getting his title defence off to a decent start with a podium, but he will be disappointed not to have the win.
Nearly wiped out Lifebout. Could you come over to APPF1 Tier 1 and do that?
Yeah, you should. Yeah, that'd be great. I'd appreciate that. Is Spain on the calendar in APP? If not, get it on there. No, it's not, because we did it last season. But yeah, we're just waiting for Scott to set up the correct reverse grid. And then we'll be back underway for a reverse grid race around Jeddah, 13 laps. With the faster drivers at the back, it's going to be quite something.
Yeah, it certainly will, and I think it's going to be the Toe in pole position, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it will be.
Followed by, I want to say it was DTS Ayrton or Fuzzwald, it was one of them, or maybe it was Wolfman. I don't know, we'll find out soon enough, but a reverse grid race really does throw up some carnage and some opportunities for some good racing, and a circuit like Saudi Arabia, well, that's just going to make things even more interesting, isn't it? Tight walls, fast corners. It's, well, an invitation really for good action.
Absolutely, and with faster drivers at the back, they're going to have to find inventive ways to make moves, capitalise on mistakes to get by. And I do wonder who's going to get the better start, because usually in these reverse grid races, someone at the back gets a miraculously good start, all the way up to the top. That used to be my speciality in sprints. Yeah, someone usually just gets all the luck in the world on lap 1 and has the skill to avoid the incidents that happen and get them up there. So I'm interested to see who, if anyone, has that sort of start.
Yeah, it's Life Out says Jedda's going to be crazy. Jacko, and also that Jacko, my goat, is going to win. Jack says whoever wins the Jeddah will be the person who finishes second as a Life Out is obviously going to win. Lifebout saying, mate, don't curse me. No, Lifebout, curse Jack as much as you possibly can in the short time between now and the race, as he's going to absolutely smash it and win. He's already done it. He's already done it for us. Actually, he's said he's going to win. So yeah, right, Jacko. What's it? Where will it be starting? Like P10 to the top step. Yeah.
Well, Short Markers has said he's open to offers of payment for taking out Lifebout in APP. Yeah, I'll be in touch. Yeah, it looks like we're about to get underway for Jeddah as Scott has readied up.
Yeah, Ash says I think I see him up there taking the trophy already. Shaq is handing it off. I swear, I hope Shaq is at the what's it, the friggin' US Grand Prix again this year, because it just makes my day just to see Shaq towering over everybody, even though they're standing on the podium.
You know how they're getting Brad Pitt to drive an F1 car? Imagine if they got Shaq to drive an F1 car. His head would be like above the TV cam.
He'd have to sit like that one glitch, wouldn't he? He'd have to just stand there T-posing,
yeah,
in the cockpit.
They'd have to carve out the edge of the car so he can sit in it.
Yeah, God. Oh, but apparently they're gonna this film they're making. They're gonna create an 11th team or whatever. I think Mercedes have really been like liaising with the filmmakers or something. I mean, this is all like the stuff that I've heard during like interviews and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. And I reckon it might be quite good, you know, because they're going to use a bunch of the technology they use for Maverick, and depending on like how they sort of do it. Well, the best F1 film I've ever seen, I think, was Rush. I love that film.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what's it? Chris Hemsworth, that guy. I don't remember his name, but it was, you know, Niki Lauda and James Hunt's rivalry and then friendship. Great film. If you've not seen it as a Formula One fan, then I strongly suggest you check it out. It's a good little watch.
You can't say that. Why not? It's a Ferrari. It's a shitbox.
Oh, brilliant! I think that's what Leclerc and Sainz are saying at the moment. Or maybe it's Franz. Maybe not Franz. I'm thinking of Frederick. There you go, Fred. Well, Freddie and his bad back. I've certainly been saying about his back, I'd imagine. But
all right. Well.
Oh, Jackalacka left. Oh, dear. Oh no, we cursed them too much, guys.
Yeah, I think we did. Yeah. Well, we've got the formation lap, so he's got time to get back in. But Atoa leads us off in the Red Bull for the formation lap. Wolfman P2. And Fuzzwad up there in P3 and the Ferrari Tier there in P4. I wonder if he'll be thinking if he can get a race win here. Yeah, there we go. Short Markers, Life Out and Failed Wong. The ones to watch, they are in P11 at 12 and 13. A long way to get back up and only 13 laps to do it. But we'll see what they can do, and if Jackalacko doesn't get back in, then that's one less car they have to overtake.
Yeah, it is. Just look at the tyres now. Toe, Wolfman, Fuzzwad starting on the soft compound, then Tier and DTSet and Robinay on the mediums. You've got lots of Peretz, Jacko, Womax on the softs. Truckster breaking up the softs at the moment on the medium tyre. With Short Marcus and Lifebout starting on the softs. Spoud Wong starts on the mediums with Rick on the mediums, Amaguna soft, and Scott on the softs as well. So a split strategy from the grid at the moment. The softs being favoured, of course, but the soft runners are going to be much slower in that second stint, and the medium runners much faster, and they'll be hoping to try and maybe gain some places off the start. But the Short Marcus and Lifebout, they're down in 11 and 12, and watch Spoud Wrong as well. I'm sure he'll be sort of conservatively going through, but they'll be trying to make as many places as possible at the start as well.
Yeah, they certainly will. But Spoud Wong, like you say, starting on the mediums, his other two podium scorers from last race on the softs. So interesting strategy calls there. I wonder if it will benefit Spoud Wong to have that soft stint later on. I think it will, to be honest. Personally, I think he's made the right decision, but we'll see. Lifebout says his controller died, but he still has his wheels, so I don't imagine that will be a problem. But we'll find out as everyone gets ready to go now.
I'll ride him more of a Short Marcus to see how he gets on the start. He's got the Truckster for company just ahead of him. We'll also have the AI of Jackalacco maybe as well as he lines up on the grid. But here we go, we're going racing.
We certainly are. Rick just going a bit over his grid box there. But here we go.
Oh dear.
Anytime now. Tell you what, Sumo, I think Jack joining in the middle of formation lap has broken the lobby.
I think so. Thanks, Codemasters. Again, I want to remind everyone.
Here we go then.
Life cycle.
3, 4, 5 red lights. And we're underway for the Human Rights Grand Prix. Jack Lack has left the session again. It's a good start for the Toe at the front. A Tier getting up to P2. Jack Halacco up to P2. His AI, though, up to P2. Tier there in P3, but Tier's spun at turn 2. He's going to go all the way to the back. Spelled wrong up to P7 in the meantime on those mediums. Short Marcus all the way down in P13. Lifebout in P2. What is going on, Sumo?
I don't know. I think there's some. Oh, and Fuzzwad is caught up with Short Marcus there. I'm not sure what has happened. Scott's left the session as well.
The Toe is spun. The Toe spun, so Lifebout now leads the race. I do not know what's going on, but spelled wrong down the inside of Womax for the next corner. He gets the move done. It's a great move from the Alpine. Robinay and Wolfman side by side as well, but Wolfman keeps the place for now. Lifebout leads by over nearly 3 seconds in that Alfa Romeo. What a start for him. Robinay P3, Wolfman P2. Spelled wrong is just there on those mediums though, and he's going to have the better stint later on. Amaguna and Womax going side by side on the run down towards the next corner. Amaguna's got past in the Haas and spelled wrong, but Amaguna's gone very deep at that corner and just about gets back on the track, but Womax gets past as a result. Here comes spelled wrong and Robinay on the back of Wolfman. Could it be 3 wide into the final corner? I think it could. Yes, it will be. Nearly spelled wrong down the inside of Wolfman. Robinay already made the move, and the Alpine up to P3 as Short Marcus has to try and recover all the way down in P11 still.
Yeah, Short Marcus got an absolutely awful start off the line. I think he may have thought there was a lobby reset coming or something, but he's peeled into the pit lane now as well, so an early stop. He might have some damage perhaps on that Red Bull. Let's see. Yeah, he's changing his wing. He's got some olive green damage or something because he's changing it, going onto the medium tyres. He'll be going to try and go all the way to the end here, but look at that. Lifebout 4.2 seconds ahead of anybody else.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be losing this race, Sumo. It's definitely his to lose at this point. I have seen a bug in the past where if there's a formation lap problem, then the start, when you start on the grid, you don't hear your revs. So I think that might have something to do with it, if I were to predict what happened there at the start. So I don't know if it'll be a lobby reset, or I don't know if they'll void the race, but the best we can do is commentate on what we're seeing, Sumo, and what we're seeing is Lifebout 4.5 seconds ahead of anyone else.
Yeah, we are, and we're trying to invite Jacko back into the session. It's not going to let me, Jacko. I'm so sorry.
That's a shame for Jack Alako. Well, his AI is sitting in P10. But here comes Rick now on the back of DTS Ayrton down towards the final corner. Amaguna getting past Wolfman as well in the background, but Rick going a bit too deep. So Amaguna and Wolfman side by side on the run to turn 1. Lifebout sending the fastest lap, but Amaguna up to P4, having a lot better time here than he was at Spain, as Wumax as well trying to find his way through, but can't quite make the send into turn 1. Lifebout now leads by 5 seconds as Spaled struggles to get past Robinette.
Yeah, but he's closing in, but he's probably not going to get past here unless there's a mistake from Robinette in this twisty section, this tight round here. Overtaking is very difficult around some parts of this circuit. You really want to try and get it on those straightaways, on those bits where the DRS is there, where you've got to get it done under drag, but no closer to overtaking. He's spelled wrong, he's still sat behind Robinette in that dirty air there as well, which will be affecting him just a little bit, trying to make a way through. Still no way through, and that's Monty Perez bringing a yellow flag out at the final corner.
Yeah, he's not had a good time. 25 seconds down. I think we might see him peel into the pits and retire in that Ferrari. Jack Alaco's back in the session though, so he will rejoin. His AI still somehow in P11, and yes, Moti Perez retiring in the pit lane as Wumax and Wolfman swap positions, as do Spaled Wrong and Robinette on the run towards the final corner. But Robinette's going to have the DRS now, and he's going to have another go at Spaled Wrong. Down the inside he goes. What a beautiful camera angle this is as Robinette makes the move down the inside. They're going to continue to battle on the run to turn 1 though. Lifebout is absolutely fine with these two battling. He's just extending his lead, but Spaled Wrong back again round the outside up to P2, and he's going to want to consolidate this lead in the next twisty section now.
Yeah, Amaguna and Wolfman in early on the soft tyres.
Sorry to interrupt you, Sumo. Spaled Wrong nearly just binned it at turn 2, somehow saved the car, but that was very close. But as you say, Amaguna and Wolfman in for an early stop for the mediums.
Yeah, they are Rick in amongst the battle here with DTS and Wumax as well, who's leading this train at the moment. So it's all aboard the Wumax train for the time being, but the pit stop window is opening, so it is a matter of time before the grid sort of reshuffles itself right now. Robinette keeping in touch with Spaled Wrong at the moment. There's 5/10 is the gap. Who's that off? It's Jack Alaco. It's Jack Alaco. He's off. He's in the barriers. Oh no, he was going so well, and it's all coming undone for Jack Alaco. Can he get himself back in? Can he recover? I think he can. He's an exceptional driver, so get back in there, Jack Alaco.
Well, his AI was driving very well in P10 and 11, just keeping it together, and then within one lap of him joining back into his car, he's put it in the wall and gotten himself a track limits penalty. So it's not been a good time for Jack Alaco as DTS Ayrton and Wumax, down towards the hairpin. DTS just about ahead, but he's got no ERS to defend with, and Wumax will see that from the flashing red light. So Wumax knows there's an opportunity on the run to turn 1. Lifebout fastest lap again. Trugster in the wall as well as Rick. There's been contact there, I think. It's between the two of them, but Trugster and Rick both into the wall in the same place. It's not a safety car, thankfully. Jack Alaco spun again further back, but Trugster into the pits, as well as Rick, and Wumax also in for his scheduled stop onto the mediums.
Yeah, and the gap's sort of opening up here now as well. Lots of incidents, lots of spins, pit stops as well. Just shaking things up. Lifebout is now 7 seconds ahead of Spaled Wrong, who has still got Robinette for company at the moment, and the medium runners doing well for the time being. But of course, pit stops haven't all been taken at the moment. But Tier finds himself up in P5 there.
Certainly does. Short Marcus is going to take those mediums all the way to the end, I reckon. He won't have a problem doing that because he pitted on lap 1. We've got Amaguna, on the outside of Wumax, run towards the long left-hander, and Wumax just lets him go. not willing to fight that, and I think he'll do the same for short Marcus. Jakalaka retiring in the pit lane. Is an exceptional driver, but yeah, unfortunately not around Jeddah, it seems. Lifebout across the line to start lap number 6 in the Alfa Romeo with a 7-second lead, and he's going to be praying that there isn't a safety car, because if there is a safety car, he's suddenly going to be under a huge amount of pressure.
Yeah, for sure. Jack says in the chat he got rear wing damage, so that'll be why he lagged out. Well, not lagged out, retired from the session. It definitely wasn't any sort of skill issue or anything for the Scotsman. So all of the naysayers can be silenced now. As Jack Lack had rear wing damage, that's why he's out. Robinett falling out of touch now is Spoud wrong, and that'll be what Spoud wants, is for Robinett to fall back, and which one of these two are going to come in first? And I think they'll be coming in maybe somewhere around lap 8 or maybe lap 9 perhaps.
Oh,
and there's yellow.
Yeah, Wolfman at turn 1. I'm not sure if anyone has crashed with him. It doesn't look like it, but shame for him. Rick gets himself a track limits penalty as Wolfman rejoins just ahead of Fuzzwad. As Amaguna and Tia now side by side. Amaguna making another move up to P5 in the Haas, but that is where he will stay unless there's a safety car. As DTS, although actually DTS Ayrton and others still have to pit, so Amaguna at the moment is in a net P3 or so.
Yeah, that's not a bad place at all to be in for Amaguna. It could maybe even be P2 if he's lucky enough and closes in on these guys. But running through, Lifebout finally into the pits then, and taking those softs as far into this race as he dares. Going to chuck on a set of yellow wall medium tyres to go to the end.
Yellow flags in sector 2. That's Rick around on those hard tyres, unfortunately, so he's going to drop to the back. Lifebout back out again on those medium tyres. Is he going to be ahead of Amaguna? Yeah, well ahead of Amaguna. No problem there at all. Short Marcus is up to P6 after his disastrous start to this race. And don't forget, he does not have to pit again. He will take those to the end. They will absolutely go to the end. So no problems for him at the moment, although just behind Amaguna, he's going to want to get ahead of the Haas, and he still could manage to finish in the top 4 today.
Yeah, he could. He's just going to try and make the most out of those tyres and try and, well, just get the passes done in smart places, keep some pace up as well, and he's certainly the driver to do so. He is the defending champion at the moment. This race hasn't gone the way he would have wanted at the beginning, but sometimes that is just the way it goes in motorsport. Rick out of the session, so he's retired in the pit lane too. So we've lost both Mercedes in this race. Scott lagged out right at the very beginning of the session for the time being, but there's not too much action going on track. With those short markers chasing after Amaguna, Womack's on the hunt for Tia as well, and well, Tia, he's going to have to come in, isn't he? So this will be a inevitable position for Womack's.
Yeah, he's done well today, Womack's. I think he finished P5 in Spain, and yeah, here he is, going to finish at least top 7 here in Jeddah, and here he goes to the inside of Tia, who doesn't fight too hard. He still has to stop, of course. Spelled wrong, and Robinett staying out on those mediums, as well as DTS Ayrton, who's doing well in that other Alpine. Womack's ahead. Is Tia going to fight him back at turn 1? I don't think so. I don't think he's got the straight line speed, and I don't think he wants to anyway. So that move is done.
Big lock up from Womack. He's gone so deep and invited Tia to go straight through. That was a shame from Womack. So we're just saying how well he was going.
Yeah, commentator's coincidence striking again. But look who's just gotten a 3-second track limits penalty, Sumo. It's our net race leader, Lifebout. So if a safety car does come out, Lifebout is in big trouble of not winning this race. In fact, I would say he was almost guaranteed to not win this race if there is a safety car. So that'll be what the top 3 are hoping for, so they can get a free stop. They won't come out ahead of Lifebout, but they definitely will come out ahead of Amaguna. So yes, plenty of strategy decisions to come, as I think Robinet's going to come in. Yes, he is. Robinet into the pits for a set of soft tyres. He's fed up of waiting for a safety car. Spelled wrong, staying out, as is, no, DTS Ayrton in as well in the other Alpine as Lifebout sets the fastest lap. And he's easily controlling this race, but like we say, a safety car, and suddenly he is going to be favourite to not even be on the podium.
Yeah, there we go. Short Marcus has found a way past Amaguna finally, and goes around the outside before the corner and finds his way into the top 4 now. So a good recovery for the time being. He's got to Robinate up 3 seconds or so up the road, so he's going to really have to push hard to try and catch there. But Amaguna sticking with the Red Bull for the time being, keeps him on this, making his way through as well. Tier finally into the pits as well. He's left Womack behind, and he might be battling with Wolfman on exit here.
Yeah, he might well do. Wolfman coming up to turn 1 now. Tier just coming out the pit lane, and he's just ahead in the Aston Martin, and he's on those soft tyres, so he'll get them up to temperature very rapidly through sector 1. I don't think Wolfman is going to have an opportunity to fight. Nearly goes in the back of the Aston Martin onto turn 3, but just about avoids him. And Tier should be fine now, although very deep there in sector 1, and Wolfman could have an opportunity down the straight, but no, I think Tier has kept the position. As Amaguna still sticking with Short Marcus for now, so he's going to have DRS on the run to the last corner as Spaled is finally into the pits.
Yeah, Spaled finally, and as he's going to come out in comparison to the rest of the drivers around him. Lifebout, fastest man on track, 1 minute 30.346 for the Alfa Romeo at the moment. Amaguna not able to make a pass here. Oh, and a big snap of oversteer on the exit there as well. That's not going to help his momentum coming down the straight. He's going to have the DRS. He's going to close up a little bit, but there'll be no move made. And he really hasn't got the ERS really to mount a charge at all. So he's really just going to be trying to use that DRS and stick with Short Marcus, who has got some ERS left to use in that car and will probably drop the Haas quickly.
And a 3-second penalty for Amaguna as well, not helping matters. But it's been a marvellous recovery from Short Marcus, has to be said, after a terrible start. Just pitting onto those mediums on lap 1 and taking them all the way to the end. And I think a very, very deserved P4 from this. Spelled wrong has come out well ahead of Robinet, so staying out that extra lap has paid dividends for the Alpine driver. And but he's 12 seconds behind Lifebout, so no problems at all for the Alfa Romeo driver unless a safety car comes out, but after this lap it will be too late for that to happen, and Lifebout just coming to the final corner, so I think he has got this race well and truly in the bag, as well as fastest lap if Spaled can't match him on those soft tyres.
Short Marcus went deep into 21. This is Amaguna's chance now. He's very close to the back. He's got the DRS open. He hasn't got much ERS to help him, but Short Marcus is going to use his, and he's just going to stay ahead of the Haas now, so unable to capitalise on that mistake. Oh, and he spun into the wall!
Oh, Amaguna. Disaster. It was going so well. What a race he was having, but into the wall he goes, and that's no front wing, and that's another pit stop for the Haas driver. Very unfortunate indeed. Lifebout gets himself another 3-second time penalty, but he can afford to get another 2 track limits penalties and still win the race. That is how far he is ahead. Womack's promoted to P6 thanks to the pit stop for Amaguna. DTS Ayrton up to P5 at the moment, and I think he's catching Short Marcus Sumo. 1.2 seconds is the gap, 1.1. DTS Ayrton putting in a shift here.
Yeah, it looks like Amaguna's going to come out in amongst this fight, in amongst Tier and Wolfman at the moment. I think Tier's going to get ahead, is he? Oh, just racing on exit at the moment. Tier's got the warmer tyres, but Amaguna just ahead of the Aston Martin. They're both equal on penalties, so they're going to be racing these two as they go along through. And Tier has got, well, a couple lap older tyres. It's very deep there through turn. I think, I don't know, it's like 7 or 8 or something. There's too many corners on this track.
Yeah.
There's 27, I think, in total. So it's not an easy one to keep track of all these tiny little kinks and stuff. But these two close together on track at the moment. And DTS Ayrton still close to the back of Short Marcus, and on those soft tyres he's looking to make a move. I think he hasn't really got the ERS though over to Short Marcus, but he's going to open up the DRS now, and he's going to follow him all the way down towards turn 1. Is there going to be a move at the moment? In the middle of the track goes the Red Bull, pulls over to the racing line. Is it a send from the Alpine? Not quite.
No, but it's a fantastic job from DTS Ayrton to get into the position he is, and could have a great opportunity to take P4 from the defending champ here. He's had a brilliant race in that Alpine. A bit of a distraction from Scott's AI there, but they've both navigated it okay. This is the main battle on track, because Amaguna has gapped Tyr by quite a margin after Tyr was carving out his own track at turn 1. But DTS Ayrton right on the back of this Red Bull, practically pushing him through the track at this point as they run through. Short Marcus nearly tapping the wall on exit there as they go down towards the next corners. DTS Ayrton's got to be careful not to hit the back of this Red Bull. He's definitely got better braking performance, so just got to keep it clean. But like you say, that ERS advantage for Short Marcus could pay dividends. Only one more lap to defend after this one. Oh, yeah, that was very close.
So close to the back through 21. It's such a fast corner, that one. And this could be Ayrton's chance to get ahead at the moment, but he might just want to set the move up along this straight and try and go in towards turn 1 and try and close up. He's got to focus on exit now. This is the most important exit on this track, I would have said, in terms of corners, and he tries to go out. I think Short Marcus has the measure on him for the time being and has the distance, so it might be a final lap attempt from the Alpine. He closes and closes and closes in, but he's still not close enough, his car number 46, to make anything of this.
No, he just doesn't have the ERS. If he'd saved some ERS, he would definitely be past this Red Bull, but just not having that ERS has cost him big time. We've got another spin in sector 1, I think that was Fuzzwad, yeah, he's just pushing the Red Bull. He's got so much better performance through the corners, but he just doesn't have the straight line speed to make any sort of move. The last opportunity he will have is down towards the final corner, so we'll have to keep watching for that as DTS Ayrton, it still continues to push him through, but I'm going to right on board with Lifebout for the last few corners, but no, I'm going to go back because DTS Ayrton, that gap is so tiny, but I will keep an eye on it, but I'm going to ride on board with Lifebout as he comes around the final corner. He has driven superbly. What a start he had, but Lifebout comes across the line to win at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. DTS Ayrton nearly into the back of Short Marcus again by the sounds of it as they go through. He's cutting straight back to them. Well done to Lifebout, but DTS Ayrton's got nothing left in the tank to fight with, and I think Short Marcus is going to keep the position unless someone does a Max Verstappen at the last corner, but no, both of them through fairly cleanly, and Short Marcus does manage to take P4. DTS Ayrton finishes a brilliant P5. Even so, Rumax 20 seconds behind, he'll finish P6, but it's a podium for Spale, Wrong and Robin A at the top two. But I think Lifebout will take away the championship lead at the end of this one due to that fastest lap.
Yeah, well, that was incredibly close to the back of Short Marcus. I thought he was going to go on the back of him. I was riding on board on the TV pod cam there, and wow, that was very, very close to the back from DTS Ayrton. Very committed on the brakes, trying to get the exit, but I think having to brake as much as he did was what cost him the gap, which is a shame.
It is indeed. Wolfman coming around the final corner, the last of the finishers. He will finish in P9. I think he'll be reasonably pleased with that. There we go. That is your Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Like you say in chat, Lifebout, I think lap 1 was something that Scott will have to look at, because I think that was a Codemasters issue rather than a real start with everyone on equal terms. But regardless, Lifebout still controlling that race from the front and taking home the victory as he comes down the tunnel towards the podium. What's his celebration going to be? Let's find out. It's oh dear, oh no, oh dear, oh dear. That's I mean, that's just taken away all the pride of being the championship leader after today. I think, yeah, that's not his proudest moment.
No, it's certainly not. Change your celebration, laugh out. We do not appreciate.
Well, Jack has said he takes back his blabbering comment from earlier after we were singing his praises in Spain. Yeah, that's the reason. That's exactly the reason we were singing your praises, Jack. That's the only reason. Yeah, Lifebelt takes the race win and fastest lap by nearly a second. He loves this track. He's very, very good at this track, so it's not a surprise, but still, that is a massive margin for fastest lap on medium tyres compared to softs as well. So Lifebelt takes the win. Spelled wrong in P2. Robinet sitting there on the podium. Good result for the Frenchman. Short Marcus, the defending champ, finishes P4 in the end, holding off Ayrton right to the line. Wumax, Amaguna, Tier, Wolfman and Fuzzwad make up the rest of the top 10 with, well, Scott's AI and the Toes AI finishing a lap down, and then everyone else, unfortunately, unable to finish.
You're cutting it fine again with the grid run through, but no, good couple of races there and a good start to this sprint season.
Yeah, absolutely. Good fun to watch. It's a shame about the Codemasters issue at the start of Jeddah, but it can't be helped. These things happen. Yeah, a wonderful race to watch, or a couple of races, especially Spain. That was a brilliant race. Lifebelt will have the championship lead against all odds.
Yeah, he will, and it was well, a valiant effort from him in Spain, but you know, P2, P1, he's gone in and done it, and it's quite a feat. But there's plenty more racing to go, and how many rounds we've got of this Ghost?
6 weeks.
6 weeks of sprint racing, so that's what, 12 races. So plenty more time, plenty more chances to get points.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and anything can happen in reverse grid sprint races. I've seen, I mean, Lifebout himself in an APP sprint season. I believe at one point he had.
We'll come back and we'll see some more. Well, hopefully, I'll be here next week. But I did have a sprint race. But yeah, a good start to the season. Lifebout leads the way, and excited to see where this goes.
Absolutely. So, in that case, I think we will leave it there. We do actually have to do drivers of the day for Spain and Jeddah. I think Spain has got to be Spaled 1, right?
Yeah, for sure.
P5 on the grid to winning the race and holding off 2 soft tyre runners at the end. Yeah. And then Jeddah...
Marcus.
Short Marcus? Yeah.
Yeah, he came back. Good comeback drive.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. So well done to the both of them. On driver of the day from us too. But we will leave it there. So thank you all ever so much for watching. We'll see you next week. I have been Ghost.
I've been Silo.
And have a great rest of your weekend. And if you're in the UK, a great rest of your bank holiday weekend as well. See you later, everyone.